name is Victor Derrickson, and thank you for joining our webinar this morning. I work for a company called EOS Apps, or EOS Solutions, and we sell a series of ISV apps for Business Central. Joining me this morning is Elena Baldelli, who's located in beautiful northern Italy. Elena, say hi, please.
Victor. Hi, everyone.
And we're going to be talking to you about what's new in 2025 for EOS Apps. We're really excited to share some new information with you this morning about Business Central and our apps related to Business Central. Our agenda for this morning is a brief introduction of EOS Apps, what's new in Business Central 2025, both in Business Central and our apps. New features for data security. So we got some great new features coming for that product that I think you'll be excited about. And then some other updates on the EOS Apps ecosystem. Just as a reminder for everybody, we have over 100 apps published on AppSource, 45 of which have been approved for global release, meaning they work with the base global Business Central environments and can be installed anywhere around the world. And then we'll finish up with a Q&A. Please remember you are muted as an attendee. If you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A button in the top of your Teams webinar window. Okay, just a quick 1 minute about EOS Apps. Like I said, primarily located out of northern Italy. We're one of the top 5 largest BC consultancies globally. Have over 500 employees, over 1,000 customers. We sell our apps in over 30 countries. In fact, I think some of this information might be even a little dated. We probably have closer to 130, 140 partners now globally who sell our apps to customers around the world. So what's new in Business Central 2025? Security. You can now set up security in Business Central using MS Entra security groups. So that's a really nice way to streamline your security. It makes it a lot easier to manage security. You only have to set up users in one security group and have that replicated automatically in Business Central. So it's a really nice new feature. Apps. Microsoft has been putting some restrictions on app downloads. We've been developing a solution called Gordon, which is an app resource library that allows partners to more easily access our apps. And the on-prem version of that now, or the on-prem version of our apps is now available on Gordon without any security, is now considered a public feed, so you can download the on-prem software anytime you want. You don't have to come to us for a username and password like you used to in the past. And then the third one, this is probably the most exciting, Microsoft has been expanding Copilot and now allows their ISV app partners to load data about their ISV solutions into Copilot. We're under what's called the Red Carpet program, which is like a preview or a beta version of that solution, which will now allow end customers to go into Copilot and ask questions about our EOS apps, like commissions or plant maintenance or something, and have the information or the data available to be able to answer those questions directly from within Copilot. So really nice new feature. We're really excited about that. Now, I mentioned Gordon. Lena is now going to take over the screen and give you some more information about our Gordon solution, which is really exciting.
Yes, thank you, Victor. So, starting with the point about apps and overall environment management, we have released a new feature for Gordon. And for those who don't know it, it's a free tool for developers. And for instance, here we can see useful wizard for the container creation, but it serves also for other feature for environment management, for instance, mainly the app distribution and upgrades, but also it can be used for the PTE solution, so for every solution that you develop for your customer. And a new information is that now is available also for SaaS environment. There is a preview to handle also the app for SaaS with Gordon. And obviously it's free and you don't have to use PowerShell anymore. You can install Gordon from the GitHub repository, and always in GitHub you can ask for support, or if you have any technical issue using this tool. But we recommend to adopt Gordon because make easier all the stuff regarding the environment management. Next point regarding security, as Victor mentioned earlier, and user group has been removed from Business Central 25, and you can choose if use Azure Security Group or permission set. In both cases, there are a standard migration tool provided by Microsoft to get the transition from user group to one of these. Along this change, EOS has introduced a new entity called EOS User Group that is provided by the library Security Common Data Layer. And with this library, the user group of EOS are automatically created with the old user group. Why we have inserted this new feature? Because different apps have been impacted with this news, because for instance, the app related to this news are bulk VS VAT number check, doc solution, and data security, because they used the user group feature. So if you are using one of these in Business Central 24, you have to update to the latest version, and together with the update, you will install also the library for user group of EOS. Let's see some more detail about the new entity. We can see for the bulk VS VAT number check that there is the new option for the notification user group. So it's now possible to define the EOS user group for send the notification to the validation VAT number check validation. While for doc solution, the permission set and the old user group was necessary for defining the permission to write or read the library for doc solution. And now we can see there is a new option, the security group and also the EOS user group. And last, data security, where there is the feature to define which user can change the status of the record. So we have added the option for define EOS group. These images are from Business Central 24 because it's the version where there are still also the old user group, but from Business Central 25, you don't see anymore the user group. Okay, starting from data security, I leave Victor introduce the next topic.
Yeah, so today we're going to be showing you demos on a few of the new features that we have. Specifically for data security, we have some exciting new features. First of all is ownership. So ownership allows you to define a specific person or team who can manage the changing of the status of a record. So for example, if you have new customers and you want a specific person in AR to approve that customer and release it, you can now do that with ownership. Field replacement allows you to set conditions on changing the values of fields before making a status transaction or changing of the status on a record. And then table requirements. So this allows you to set filters within one table that limits the ability or controls when you can change the status of a record with data security in the core table. So Elena is going to show you, give you a brief demo on how these features work.
Thank you. So starting from the new feature of ownership, I add that this feature are available only from Business Central 25. And for the ownership, we have added this new feature, new action in the fact box of data security that are the action for assigning the record and the one to check the assignment log, so the history of the change on the owner of the record. Before move to the demo, just a brief overview of the setup required. For each table that you want to use with ownership, this must be enabled. There is a specific flag, ownership enable. And for each status, it's necessary to define who can assign the record when it's in a certain status. So the option are no one, so no one can change the owner, all the user, only the owner, or someone of the team, of the member of the group that is linked to that table. Then for the status transaction, you must specify who can change the status. If only someone that belong to the ownership or everyone. And also in the status user permission, you will have to define who can change effectively the status. But let's see an example with a demo. Okay, so starting from the EDS setup, a new action has been inserted to copy the permission set in the new EOS group in order to use the old feature of in permission set with the EOS group. We can see how it present the group is a code and a name of the group, and for each one there is the members. In our example, we use the purchase group. We can check the members that are these 3 users, and we use Roman that belong to the group. We can see now the setup for the ownership. In the EDS table setup, we have enabled the ownership, for instance, for the vendor, and we can see here the flag enable. In the status, we have choose who can assign the record. In this case, for the vendor, only the owner can assign the record to someone else when the status is new or edit or release. And if we check the status transaction, these are the possible change in the status, and only someone that belong to the purchase group can change the status. So we can see an example. I use another group user, Elena, that don't belong to the purchase group, but she can create a new vendor. So if we create a new record, okay, we simply insert a name for this vendor just to initialize the record, and we can see the first status for EDS that is new. And if this user try to change the status, nothing happen because she don't has the permission. But with Roman, we can see the same record, obviously. With this new feature, is interesting that we can also filter the record, the list of document by owner. In this case, Roman cannot assign the record. If he try to use this feature, he received an error because he don't have the permission, because only the owner can assign the record to someone else. So what we can do is with the user of Elena, assign the record to Roman. So the default option is the current user, but we can choose another one if we want to assign to a specific user. Then we see also the other option. And now Roman can see the new vendor assign to himself, and can choose if he wanted to change the status from new to release, for instance, because he has checked all the data and it's okay to be released. Okay, so this is a first possible way to use the ownership, assigning the record to specific user. Now we see another example with the purchase quote, where we use all the different options for the ownership. So when the record is new, all user can assign the quote, while when it's released, only someone that belong to the group, to the team, while when it's edit, only the owner, so who is edit the record can assign to someone else, while when it's confirmed, no one can change the assignment. For the transaction status, the rule set is always the same. So for each status transaction, only people for purchase group can update the status of data security. Start again with the user of Elena. We can see the purchase quote. Now Elena can see the quote, can check the data already insert, and again, if try to change the status, also in this case, the status don't change because Elena has not the permission to do this action, but can assign the record, for instance, to the user group, to the EOS group. So in this case, she don't know who will handle this document, but she know that someone from purchase will have to update the document and change the status. So Roman now can see the purchase quote assigned to its group, purchase, can open the quote, check all the information for this document, and can change the status in release. He can assign the record also to someone else if he want. Now from purchase, he assign the record to itself because he is the person that has changed the status in release. And if he want to change something in the document, can change the status into edit. And to ask someone else to take some change, Roman, who is the current owner, can assign to someone else. So again, can assign to Elena the quote. And if try again to assign the record, he receive again an error message because now is not anymore the owner for this document. So has to wait that the other user, Elena, assign to someone else, to him. Now Elena can check the quote, can do any modification to the document, the amount or the quantity and so on, and then can assign again to Roman because she cannot change the status. So it's a sort of approval request done directly with data security. Send again to Roman this quote. Okay, and now Roman can change the status in release, and when the vendor confirm the quote, here we can see the log for the assignment, can change the status in confirmed, and now when the status is confirmed, no one can change the assignment, neither Roman. because we have set that no one can change. So also if we try to assign, for instance, to something to the EOS group, we can see that it's not allowed. Okay. This is because the quote is confirmed and the owner should remain the same. In fact, this is the option that in status confirm, no one can change the owner. Okay. Another feature that is useful is the EDS record status view, where it's used to update when you enable the data security. We have updated this feature to initialize also the owner of the record, and it's possible to assign more record to someone with the action for the ownership. Okay. Now there are the other two features, the field substitution that allow to change some data when the status of a record change. And we can see an example. Okay, so again, starting from table setup, because it's the main setup for everything in the data security, we can see the sales quote. And in the status transaction, there are two new features, field replacement, the first one that we see, where we define the field where we want to change the value. So in this case, we have set up the default value for language and the salesperson. For instance, the internal sales team, we want to assign this salesperson only if the salesperson is empty. With the option always, the update of the field is always done. So even if there are already some other information, the feature of field replacement will update the data. We have to certify the table to use the data security, and we can see an example. So from the sales quote this time. Okay, in this quote, we can see that the language and the salesperson are already filled. So if we try to change the status from new to released, nothing has changed because these fields are not empty. Okay. While if we use another quote where this field are without any information, when we change the status, we receive this message because when we update the field, there is always the validation. So this was a standard message to update the line of the document. And we can see that the fields in the header are automatically updated. The field replacement can be shown also from the single document. Here we don't see anything because this document is in status released. So this view is filtered from the initial status. So for release there are any replacement, but if we open another quote in status new, we can see in the replacement fact box the same condition that we have specified in the setup. These are only informative page. You cannot change the configuration from this. Okay. Then the last feature is the mandatory table. I think it's a very useful feature because it allows to define check in the related table, not only in the main table where the data security run. So for instance, the either of a document, but also in the line or in other related table, for instance, dimension, value, or anything else related to a document. But let's see an example, and we can see how to define condition to the related table. Always from the table setup for data security in the status transaction. We can define some check when we release the document, in this case the sales order, and the condition that we choose is not exist, but it's also possible to define existing condition. And it's necessary to define the table relation with the header. So in this case is the document number that link the header to the line. And okay, the condition are exist or not exist. In this case, we want to check that not exist any line of type item with amount 0. And also another check is regarding the location code, and we don't want to use the location code NC, that is the location for the non-compliances item. We can see an example in a sales order. We have prepared an example with data that don't pass the check, just to see the error message and how to update the document. In this case, we have one line with the location code NC. If we try to change status, we can see the table requirement also from this page to check if we don't understand the message, the error message. And this is the first message, the block message regarding the line with amount 0. If we check all the line, we can see that the last one has 1% of 100% of discount, so the amount is 0. If we set, for instance, 90% of discount, we have an amount also for the last line, and now we don't expect anymore the message for the amount, okay? But we have the other one for the location. We can update also the other line, changing the location code. Okay, and now the status should be updated without problem. The error message can be only one per time can be shown, but now we can see that is released. Okay, for me it's all. I leave Victor for the next slide.
All right, thanks, Elena. That was a great demo. Okay, so here's an update on a few changes or additions in functionality to our existing EOS apps. For example, timesheets integration to our plant maintenance software. So maintenance employees can now post their labor time for maintenance work directly from a timesheet and have that integrated and posted back to the maintenance work order. Project integration for configured items. So now from a project, you can actually configure a product directly from the project line or the planning lines. Again, for the product configurator, you can now see the configured items characteristics in a facts box that is available directly on the production order screen. So great feature there. And then empties management. So for those of you who don't know it, empties management from EOS allows you to track non-items or non-sellable items that you ship to a customer that you want to track and get shipped back. And so examples are pallets, maybe special packaging containers, cores, other things where you ship it to the customer, you want to track it, ship it back, or bill them if they don't ship it back. And This new feature allows you to automatically adjust the quantity on hand at the customer location of these empties when you post a sales invoice. Now, the beautiful thing about all four of these is they were suggested by partners, just like you. And so you can see a link at the bottom here to our GitHub site where you can post new product features. One of the key benefits of EOS is that we have not just one or two people, but a whole team of people maintaining our ISV apps products. They review these suggestions, pick the ones that they think can value their customer base the most, and then include them in future releases of the product. Entirely new apps that were released in 2024 is a new warehouse solution. So we have a Power WMS, the app that installs inside of Business Central that allows it to integrate to the Power WMS app, which is a Power App. And so that product, the Power App, then is automatically designed to integrate with the Power WMS product in the back end inside of Business Central, so you can process transactions on a handheld device in your warehouse using a Power App. So really nice feature there. Entirely new apps that were released last year were the expiration monitor for Azure Secrets and billing note. So those are totally new products that were released last year. Yes, we are still developing more products for Business Central. And then the bridge apps. And these are things that we like to mention because a lot of people don't know about these. Our products are designed to be installed and managed individually. However, many of our products will talk to each other in the back end and coordinate using these bridge apps if you have more than one of our products installed. For example, last year we released a bridge app for advanced document reporting and purchase requests so that you can easily modify a document that you want to print based on the purchase requisition screen, right? Gives end users the ability to modify those documents without needing to talk to a developer. And then here's an exciting one. So probably two of our most popular products are dual unit of measure and product quality. And then we now have an integration between those two so that if you're doing a product quality order on an item that has 2 units of measure. Typically, we're referring to catch weight in the food industry, but could apply to a lot of other products as well. You can now do that quality inspection on the original unit of measure and the second or dual unit of measure as well. So great feature there for customers that are using both dual unit of measure and product quality. Again, very strong in the food industry, but could be used in a lot of other places as well. Okay. Let's see if we have any questions from our attendees. Yeah, so someone was asking, if you're looking at our apps, there's a difference between Contact Me free trial and Get It Now. Contact Me means we need to talk to you a little bit. There's more involved in installing an app than just downloading it from App Source. Free trial means that our app is available to install in a customer's environment for initially 20 days for free. It's a fully functioning solution, but just gets a 20-day free trial license. Get It Now are actually free apps. We do have a handful of products that are provided completely free to customers. So if you see Get It Now, it means that's a free app that you can download and install in your customer's environment for free. Speaking of which, somebody else was asking how our products are priced. That's a great question. We have a very simple pricing model. It's a single license price per app, per tenant, per year. And our products, because we've been around for so long, are very reasonably priced, especially considering the amount of functionality that comes with our solutions. A lot of people are often surprised at how much functionality you get for the price, so it makes it very easy to sell to customers. And then somebody is asking about the free trial. Yes, it can be extended. So you do initially get a 20-day free trial. However, if you need more time to evaluate the product with your customers, that initial 20 days can be extended by an additional 60 days to give you more time to test it and review that it's the right product for your customers. And then, is it possible to assign only some records, or is it mandatory to assign everyone? Elena, would you mind answering that one for me? I think you're more familiar with the data security products.
Yeah, sure. Well, regarding the assignment, it's not really a mandatory information because you can choose if you want to assign the record to someone or not. It's a feature similar to the logic of CRM, where each contact lead is assigned to someone generally. Okay, but it's not mandatory. But for a specific table, if you enable the ownership, then all record will have an owner, and the default one is the user that has created the record. So if you don't want to assign to anything to someone else, it simply remain assigned to you. Or you can choose to define a EOS group generic. That means that is not belong to anyone. It could be another option. Yeah.
Actually, we just got another question. So this is an interesting one. They're asking if it's possible to restrict permissions to end users to specific fields in a page. So that's not possible with Base Business Central. Elena, do you want to answer if you can do that with data security?
Well, data security don't do this kind of control.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can change the record, the data for every field. If a user have the permission to update, to modify a table, they can change every field.
Yeah.
It's a standard feature of Microsoft. So data security don't allow to restrict this option, but eventually you could evaluate to create some personalized page. You can define a role with the standard feature of Business Central. You define a role for a specific user with that can be see only few fields. So without view the other one, they cannot change them.
Okay, thank you. Looks like that's all of our questions for now. If you guys are like me and you sort of think about these things and have questions later, please feel free to reach out, email. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys may have about our products, or Elena or I both, actually. And then just as a follow-up, this is our last slide. Some of the benefits of joining our partner network. So we do see a lot of partners generate leads from AppSource with our apps. We quite frequently will find customers will find our apps on AppSource, reach out to us, and they already have the partner of record of somebody who's in our partner network. So this is a great way to increase revenues and margins with your existing customer base. As well as with new customers. A lot of our products really hit some pretty basic gaps in Business Central that end customers need, and you'll find that our products can really help fill out that solution for your end customers without needing as many customizations to Business Central. We do have continuous updates, so once you sell our app, you don't have to worry about whether a new version is going to be released to meet a new, to be compatible with a new version of Business Central. Like I said, we have the EOS Labs team who's doing that on a constant basis. And again, like I said, you can reduce the workload on your development team. Of course, we all know how hard it is to find a really good BC programmer these days to focus on the really high value modifications and then install the EOS apps for those other common day-to-day gaps that you'll see within customers. And one of the benefits of working with EOS apps, again, goes back to how many apps that we have, right? I know there's a lot of ISV vendors out there that only sell one product, and I myself, before coming to EOS apps, was a director of a BC practice, and I understand the administrative headaches of trying to balance multiple partners agreements with multiple partners, and is their solution a good quality or not? And so with our products, you have one vendor that sells 45 apps. You probably can get most of what you need for a client's environment just through EOS apps, which really simplifies the invoicing and the sales process. So thank you very much for joining us. For me, it's been morning. I know for Elena, it's been afternoon. I hope you learned a lot of new information there today, and thank you very much for joining. And again, feel free to reach out at any time if you have any questions.